Today, we're diving into a really fascinating and, let's be honest, pretty radical idea from a book written way back in 1929 called The Science of Mind. It proposes that our thoughts are quite literally the architects of our reality. Now, if that's true, it immediately brings up a huge and very personal question.
Right at the beginning, the book hits us with a question that, has been asked forever. It's a question every single one of us has probably wrestled with at some point. It's that ultimate why, when things get tough. And this question really sets the stage for the story that the author, Ernest Holmes, wants to tell. The story of humanity, which he just calls man. So our main character, man, starts out feeling like a total victim of circumstance. Life just seems to happen to him. You know the feeling, right? Sickness, bad luck, unhappiness. It all feels like it's coming from the outside, like it's random and maybe even cruel. He feels completely powerless, just trying to get by, as Holmes puts it, with a heavy heart and bleeding feet. But then, after all this struggling in the dark, man has a massive breakthrough, a real turning point. It's a single, huge discovery that starts to change absolutely everything about his relationship with the world and with himself. Okay, this is the moment. This is where it all shifts. The realization I can think is also the exact same moment as the realization I am, that I am a conscious individual being. Holmes actually argues that this is when evolution by force stopped. Man wasn't just a creature of instinct anymore. He was now a co-creator, with a hand in his own journey. This discovery just completely rewires our sense of self. The book suggests that the brain doesn't create thought any more than, say, a light bulb creates electricity. It's just the instrument that uses it. The real you, the thinker, is the invisible force using the brain. Electricity is real when you flip a switch and the light comes on, and in the same way, we know the thinker exists because, well, we're thinking. And here's where the idea really flips the script. Your thoughts aren't just these passive, private things happening in your head. No way. They are causes. They are like seeds that you plant in the universe, and your day-to-day experiences are the harvest you reap. All of a sudden, man isn't a victim anymore. He's the source of his own reality. Okay, so if thought is a creative power, the big question is, how does it actually work? Man figures out that to actually use this power, he's got to learn the rules of the game, the mechanics of how creation actually happens. So, according to Holmes, the whole thing starts with what he calls spirit. This is your conscious mind. It's the thinker, the part of you that says, I am. Think of it as the pilot in the cockpit. It's got free will, it can choose where to go, and it's the one that kicks off the whole creative process. Now, that conscious thought from the spirit gets impressed on what Holmes calls the soul, or the universal mind. The best way to picture this is like a vast creative field, or maybe like software for a cosmic 3D printer. And here's the key. It's totally neutral. It doesn't judge the design you give it, it just takes the blueprint and without question, starts the process of making it real. And finally, we have the body. And this doesn't just mean your physical body, it means the result. It's the finished product from that cosmic 3D printer. It's your health, your bank account, your relationships, your whole world of experience. It's the tangible effect, born from the thought of the spirit and shaped by the law of the soul.
So when you put it all together, it's this really simple three-step process. Your conscious mind, the spirit, has a thought. That's the cause. The universal mind, the soul, takes that thought as a command, as law. And then boom, the result shows up in your world as the effect, the body.
Now, this is so important to get. This law is completely impersonal. It doesn't have an opinion. It couldn't care less if you're thinking about health or sickness, wealth or poverty. Holmes compares it to electricity. It's a force that can cook your dinner or it can burn your house down. It doesn't judge. It just follows the instructions your thought gives it.
So once man really understands these mechanics, the implication is just staggering. He realizes he can consciously use this law to totally remake his world. He can stop being just a passenger in life and actually get into the driver's seat.
Holmes uses this amazing metaphor of a mirror. Your outer world, he says, is just a reflection of your inner world. Whatever you're holding in your consciousness is exactly what you're going to see reflected back at you in the conditions of your life. And the connection here is direct. It's one-to-one. If you consistently think about sickness, the reflection you get is disease. If you hold a thought of perfection, you get a reflection of health. A deep-down belief in lack and not enoughness reflects as poverty, while a true consciousness of supply reflects abundance. The effect is always a perfect match for the cause.
So what do you do if you don't like the reflection you see? Well, you don't run up to the mirror and try to fix the reflection, right? That's crazy. You change what's standing in front of it. The book says you don't treat the disease or the empty wallet. You turn your attention away from that appearance and you treat the thought that created it, replacing it with a new one of wholeness, one of abundance. Now, this whole journey of discovery, from feeling like a victim, to becoming a thinker, to being a conscious creator, it all leads man to one last, absolutely profound realization, a single idea that ties everything together.
When we look around, the world seems to be made of billions of separate things. You, me, trees, stars, everything. But Holmes argues that all this variety, this multiplicity, actually comes from a single unified source. He uses a great analogy. A single plot of land can grow thousands of different plants, but the soil itself is never divided. All things are just different expressions of one single mind.
And here it is, the final piece of the puzzle. Man discovers that he's not just some separate being using this creative system, he's an inseparable part of it. His physical body is one with all physical matter. His mind is one with the universal creative law. And his conscious spirit is one with the source of everything. There's no separation at all.
And so, this entire mind-bending teaching really boils down to this one powerful question aimed directly at you and at me. The power is yours. The choice is yours. So, what reality are you choosing to create right now?